Lisa Malik. This is the Sale Arts Calendar, a monthly program that tells you all about the exhibits and performances in the Lubec area. We have a few interviews, some musical selections, and then we'll give you a list of everything else that's happening this month. August is probably the busiest month of the year, so we have a lot to cover. This program is brought to you by Sale, supporting the arts in Lubec, whose goal is to help promote the arts community in the Lubec area to the benefit of the individual artists and the greater community. For further information, you can contact us at fpeers, which is FPIERCE, at cobscottbaymusic.com.
We're at the Saturday morning farmers market down here on Water Street in Lubec, and I've got Shannon Wheelock with me. And in August is the month for the Arts Alive events, but for those people who are watching who have never heard of Arts Alive, why don't you tell us a little bit about who they are and what their purpose is?
Lubec Arts Alive is a community art event that we started in 2009. It happens every summer. The dates change a little bit each summer. We're a committee of 4 or 5 people, and we pull lots of volunteers from the community to pull together an art event for everyone to enjoy of all ages. And this year we'll be working with a Create in Lubec weekend.
I know I talked to Leslie Bowman the other day, and I think her documentary photography workshop is part of your program this year.
Right, so August 3 to 6, starting with Leslie's workshop on Friday morning from 10 to 12 at the library. She'll teach you some tips and tricks of great documentary shots, live shots, and the people who participate in that workshop will come out and document the event that weekend, and then meet again the next week to edit photos, and then there'll be a little exhibit downtown of those photos. And you do need to register for that with the Tides Institute.
Right. And every other event, you've got about how many altogether?
There's a few. Saturday, we start registration for the Create in Lubec weekend, and then we'll have a tent at Flatiron Corner from 10 to 2 for kids to come do a printmaking project. And then we'll have art on the beach on Sunday.
Yes.
Which
should be a lot of fun.
Right, 9 to 11. And then the big auction is at Crowtown Gallery at 4 o'clock.
Now explain the auction.
Okay, so you're an artist from Lubec or out of Lubec. You can register to participate in this auction to come create themed on Lubec, your artwork if you want, any medium, and then you register it for the auction, and you can do that in advance too, which we appreciate. And the auction is at 4 o'clock at Crowtown Gallery. It'll be a live auction with a caller, music, food. Everyone is welcome to attend, all ages, whether or not you have an artwork there, and you can bid on some great artwork from local and not so local artists and of all different mediums.
And the funding?
This year, the auction is our fundraiser so that next year's event will be an installation project. Last year, this fish that's behind us was our project. We did a community project where people came and painted the individual fish inside the steel sculpture. Next year we'll do another installation project, and this year's proceeds from the auction will keep 30% for Lubec Arts Alive, 70% to artists, but the 30% will help fund next year's installation event. And then community donations are always grateful for that. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you, Shannon. Now, that's something for everybody, so everybody needs to come down here and take part.
Oh,
one more thing.
LubecArtsAlive.blogspot.com.
Oh, there you
Information.
go.
That's where you can find it.
Always important.
Yes.
That's all, folks. I'm sitting out here in the jungle of Lubec with Leslie Bowman, who is going to be participating in the Arts Alive program for this summer, and you'll be giving what would you call it, a class or a lecture?
Well, we're doing a workshop.
A workshop.
And the first day of the workshop, we get together with the participants, whoever wants to come and be involved, and we talk about documentary photography and what it means to be out in the world there trying to capture the life of a situation.
How would you say, in as concisely as possible, what differentiates documentary photography from any other classification of photography?
I think that's a really good question. You're participating in an event or a situation, and you're trying to tell that story without too much of your own personal take on it. So you're trying to relay what's going on in the world
without bias.
Well, there's always every photograph has a certain bias. Some people say every photograph is a self-portrait, but you're trying to tell a story of what you see. Tell the story of what you've seen.
Now, you've brought along a few examples of your own work. Is that right?
No, I brought a few of the examples of participants' work from Eastport. Over the 4th of July, we had a workshop there as before the events, and then all the participants went out and photographed for a number of days, and then we edited those down. This project is one of 3 that the Tides Institute has sponsored, the Tides Institute in Eastport. And so we started out in Eastport, and then we're going to be in Lubec, and then the following weekend we'll be up in Calais with the International Festival.
Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about the photographs you have here?
Okay, the photographs we have here were, as I said, shot during the 4th of July, and they're just some examples of what the participants saw and captured. So you'll have to look at these pictures.
All right. Now, your workshop is on 2 different dates, and they're both going to be at the Lubec Memorial Library.
That's correct.
And the first date and time is what?
Okay, it's on the 3rd. It's Friday morning from 10 to 12, and that's when we're going to get started. And it'll be, figuring out how to use your camera, getting the best quality photographs, some technical work, but then how do you frame a picture? How do you capture the moment? Framing is really important. So we'll be talking about that. And then when we come together on the following Monday, and in the morning, again in Lubec, we'll be editing. We'll be looking at all the pictures. I'm asking participants to edit down to their best 25, and then we'll be editing through those and looking at them and sharing them together. So if you can't do both workshops, that's okay, but the Monday is really a follow-up to the weekend of shooting. But if you're shooting over the weekend and you want to come be part of the edit, come on Monday.
And this is open to all?
Yes, it's free and open to the public. The Tides Institute has asked that you register through them for it.
And how do they do that? Online?
Yeah, online through the Tides Institute.
All right. And thank you, Leslie. And that's August 4th, correct?
Well, actually, the first meeting is August 3rd.
August 3rd.
But we'll be shooting all the events of the weekend. Lubec Arts Alive, the dedication of the bridge, and anything going on in town, because we really want to show how great Lubec is. And so pictures of the vendors or just people walking down the street or the scenery or whatever will be things that we'll be capturing, because we want the best photos of that time and place.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're here with Fred Pierce, who organizes all the music for the Cobscook Bay music events. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on for all of the events in August. So maybe you could tell us what's happening for August.
Well, we have quite a few events coming up, starting with August 3rd, 4th, and 5th, that weekend. The return of Dana and Susan Robinson. They were here about 2 years ago and were a big hit with everybody. Great people. They do a combination of traditional bluegrass, country. Susan plays a fantastic banjo, and Dana plays fiddle and guitar, but they also do quite a bit of their own original works.
Oh, and where are they playing?
They will be at Annabelles on August 3rd. Then on August 4th, they'll be at Crowtown Gallery, and we'll have the Sunrise County Ramblers, which are local musicians, Chris Paprocki, Allie Talbot, and maybe 1 or 2 others. They vary in size from 2 to 4. And they also play traditional music, which is really interesting because they're just in first year college and they are retaining and keeping alive the old music.
Well, we're we're so lucky to have all of these music venues and to have you, promote them for all of the entertainers. Did they write any of their own music, or did they?
Dan and Susan do. Yes, they go from traditional to fresh off the press. They just released a new CD, as a matter of fact, a few weeks ago.
Oh,
And looking forward to hearing that. I haven't had a chance yet.
well, hopefully they'll bring some of them with them.
And just one more thing. Speaking of new venues, we also have my local stage is now down in Stockford Park, and they'll be appearing both the Sunrise County Ramblers and Dana and Susan will be down there after the bridge festivities, and there are barbecues down there. It's a delightful location, and we're hoping other people will join us in sort of an afternoon concert party.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. And what was the dates on that again?
That's August 3rd at Annabelles, August 4th at Crowtown, and at Stockford Park on August 5th, on Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that sounds great. And then it looks like you have Cinder Conch, is that?
Cinder Conch.
Yes.
They are a local Maine group, mostly I think they're out of Portland, but they specialize in Eastern European music. Klezmer, gypsy, you name it. They do a stand-up bass and accordion, and that accordion frightened me because it really gets people dancing too. And they also will be at Annabelles on, what is the date on that?
I think it's the 24th at Annabelles at 8 p.m.
Right, August 24th at Annis, and then at Crowtown on August 25th, and then they're going to be at Fisherman's Wharf on Sunday.
Oh, well that's great. I'm looking forward to hearing them. That
Yeah.
sounds like there'll be a little different entertainment.
Yeah, Crowtown and Annis will be encouraging dancing, and if anybody has native Ukrainian costume or anything, feel free to come in costume.
And then we do have another concert coming up towards the end of August, right?
Yes, Elizabeth Rogers. She is a friend of a friend, and she's a singer-songwriter, beautiful voice, great songs, and it'll be a house concert right here.
And this is a great location for the house concerts, and it's great acoustics in here. And what time will that be?
That's going to be at 7 p.m. On a Thursday evening, I believe it is.
Okay. Well, thanks. It sounds like a great lineup. Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hi, we're on the back deck of Annabelles on Water Street in Lubec, where during the summertime you can meet people from anywhere in the world. And I'm with the proprietress of this establishment, Anna. How are you, Anna?
I am fine on this beautiful day, John.
Now, you've got a couple of interesting concerts coming up in August. Why don't we talk about the big one first, and that's Greg Abate.
Mr. Greg Abate, world-renowned saxophonist. He's been here now for 9 years. He comes every year to play for me. He started out doing the benefits for the Lubec Library, and it's been a continued tradition ever since then.
Yep.
He's extremely wonderful, and you shouldn't miss him.
Amazing jazz
He's an
saxophonist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing jazz saxophonist. We're from the same city.
That's right, I'm hoping you asked me.
Connection.
There you go.
In Rhode Island.
And that's what day and at what time?
Greg will be here on the 18th of August, starting at 8 o'clock. And seating is limited, obviously, and there is a cover charge of $18 to see Greg. And it's well worth that amount of money.
And now you've got another special concert earlier in the month.
We do. On the beginning of the month, on the 3rd of August, is Dana and Susan Robinson, brought to us by Mr. Fred Pierce, who brings some wonderful talent into the town of Lubec. They are folk singers, traditional, contemporary, and they're extremely wonderful. And they'll be here on the 3rd, which is Friday.
And what time are they going to start playing? Do you remember?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yes.
And we should mention while we're at it is every Sunday at Annabelles.
Every Sunday at Annabelles for a lot of years, through hurricanes, snows, rain. Mr. Gary Cook, singer-songwriter from Campobello, New Brunswick. He's here every Sunday afternoon. People can sing along with him, and it's just a wonderful
And people show up to play with him, and you never know who's going to be
We
here.
never know who's going to be here. There have been occasions where we've had 14 guitars all playing at the same time. It's quite amazing, and it's really a lot of fun.
And it is. It's a very relaxed atmosphere.
It's relaxed,
Everybody has a
low-key,
good time.
and the music is just fabulous. And you never know what type of music someone is going to play.
That's
So
right.
It's a tradition here at Annabelles to have Mr. Gary Cook here.
Okay.
And a pleasure.
And thank you, Anna, for giving us a little bit of your time. I know
You're
you're a
very
busy
welcome.
woman.
Thank you very much.
Every third Friday at the Cobscook Community Learning Center is Third Friday Coffee House, which consists of an open mic followed by a featured performer. And this month, on the 17th of August at 7 p.m., the featured performers are the Sunrise County Ramblers, which consists of Alana Oy, Chris Paprocki, and Ali Talbot. And you three have been playing together how long?
As a group together, of this form right now, we've been playing just for this summer. But me and Allie and my sister also, Megan Paprocki, sometimes plays with us. And we've been playing together for the past couple of years.
Now, for the folks who haven't seen you, what kind of music do you normally play?
I would call it, old time, fiddle music, Americana, old folk music.
Traditional.
Yeah, traditional.
And I hear that you not only play it, but you're also a student of it.
Oh no, I'm not I study music ed at Orono, but I'm not studying formally.
Not formally. I don't mean formally. I mean informally.
Yeah. I like to read up on the folklore and stuff like that.
Okay. We have a farmer's market now here every weekend in Lubec, and they often have musical performances. And I understand you'll be playing down there.
Yeah, we will be. Probably from 11 to around 1 o'clock.
11 to 1, that's a long performance.
Yeah.
You got enough material?
I think we do, yeah.
All right, you can always wing it, right?
Yeah. All right, this is a old-time number that is played, I think, throughout the whole country. Almost every fiddling tradition in America probably plays some kind of version of this song called The Girl I Left Behind Me. All right.
The second half of our busy summer here in Lubec continues with more concerts from Summer Keys. In fact, there are 6 concerts in August. And Bruce, would you care to tell us what's going on?
Sure, John. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I will go on actually from this week, which will be July 29th, and the return of the indomitable Charles Jones, playing Beethoven Appassionata, Schumann Toccata, and Ravel Gaspard de la Nuit. If that's a mouthful, but those are all wonderful pieces, and he plays them really fantastically well, so that'll be an exciting concert. Then that weekend will be the orchestra concert, which we cooperate with the Passamaquoddy Bay Symphony Orchestra, Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock in the high school, and there will be there'll be some Summer Keys people in the orchestra, a few, and we'll have one Summer Keys piano soloist playing Mozart with the orchestra. And the exciting thing there also is this new piece which Summer Keys and Passamaquoddy Bay sponsored this competition for a Maine composer in one of the Maine colleges, and the young fellow that won it is named Aaron Pettengill, and as I understand it, he's from UMaine at South Portland, and the new piece will be, let me get its title correctly, I think it is, yes, Ice Queen, Dreams of Spring. Let me just read the release. Will be performed for the first time at the PBSO, etc., etc., etc. And the orchestra will also play Beethoven, C.P.E. Bach, and Mendelssohn. So that's on Sunday the 29th. Then on the 1st of August will be the Summer Keys' first faculty concert. And on that first faculty concert will be works of Ilya Hornig, Arvo Pärt, which is a Finnish composer. The pronunciation is odd, it's P-A-R-T, but it's Pärt, it's pronounced. Works by Segaras and Ponte, played by Winslow Browning, and then a big Beethoven cello sonata with Joachim and Voiten and Greg Biss. The first work, the Hornig work, is played by Suzanne flute and Gregory Biss piano. And Margaret Hjaltested will play also Spiegel im Spiegel, which is a mirror facing a mirror. It's a wonderful. That's the piece by the Finnish composer Arvo Pärt. It's like standing still and seeing sunlight move across the water. That's how beautiful it is. That's the first faculty concert. Then followed by that, if I'm not mistaken, will be the second orchestra concert on the weekend, Sunday the 7th. Back again at the high school at 2 o'clock. There will be 3 summer key soloists, one in a Bach concerto, one in a Paderewski concerto, and one in a Mozart concerto. And the orchestra on that date will also perform music by, get my notes correct, Sibelius, Beethoven, and Donizetti. All right, faculty concert number 2 on the 8th of August. We'll have, it's a little hard to remember all this.
I always keep notes handy.
Well, I'm rattling here. So, a trio sonata by Joseph Kreutzer, from whom the Beethoven Kreutzer Sonata was named. A work of Samuel Barber called Canzona, played by Suzanne and Gregory Biss. 5 pieces by a Russian modernist called Friedrich Cherha. Okay. Also a Vivaldi Sonata in B flat with Kathleen Collison cello and John Newell piano. Then 5 etudes and an English suite done by Winslow Browning and classical guitar. That is the 8th of August, faculty chamber number 2. On the 15th, we have the return of Mira Gill, fabulous pianist, and her concerts are always extremely well attended. She will be playing Liszt and Prokofiev, and I think something else, but she didn't tell me yet what it's going to be. On the 27th, we have Margaret Hjaltested and John Newell. John may be familiar to you. He's a wonderful new faculty member on our staff, pianist and composer, and he's going to be accompanying Margaret in Schubert and Hindemith, probably something else also. On the 28th, on a Thursday concert, we have for the first time Andrea Maurer, who's one of our flute faculty and has never performed before with us, and also Sue Richards, our Celtic harpist. That should be exciting. So we'll have some Celtic music on Celtic harp, and we'll have some rather modern music from Andrea Maurer and John Newell. And finally, closing the season, will be Peter Louis and another wonderful new faculty member, Richard McIntyre, who opened the season this year as an organ concert. Richard will be working with Peter in the Grieg Sonata for piano and cello, a piece by Rachmaninoff. Mr. Louis will play some solo pieces of his own and a solo suite by Bach. So we have enough concerts, I think, to keep everybody interested for the month of August.
I would say so. And I understand you have another concert of your own. You'll be closing out the Masonic Picnic concert.
Oh yes, I will definitely be doing that. That's the final Thursday of,
Thursday. Now I've got
Yes.
one important question about that.
Yes.
Is it going to be Mozart or Motown?
It'll be sort of a cross between.
Okay. Well, I'll look forward to it and find out just exactly what he's up to.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Bruce.
All right.
Hi, I'm with Nina Bolin, and this, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never seen one before, is a HurdyGurdy. That's how you pronounce it, isn't it?
That's right.
And you'll be performing at the library this month on the 23rd.
Yes.
And you're with somebody else?
I'm with Linda Abrams, who plays banjo, and Barbara Fox, who plays Hammond dulcimer.
Now, the HurdyGurdy has a very long history.
It does.
How far back does it go?
To the 11th century.
The 11th century.
At that time, it was a two-person instrument.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge, and it was a church instrument. And then when the organ was invented, the HurdyGurdy, organs were played in churches and HurdyGurdys were abandoned.
And how did you happen to come to learn to play one? I can't imagine that HurdyGurdy players are legion in this world anymore.
Oh, they are. In France?
Is that right?
Yes. over the Bastille Day weekend, which is this past weekend, there is a huge festival in the center of France with thousands of hurdy-gurdies and thousands of bagpipes, all on play. It's wonderful.
It must be amazing.
But there are not that many players in this country.
No, I wouldn't think so.
It's
Would it be
not.
possible for you to just show us what it sounds like?
Well, I'll show you that it is basically a wheeled violin. So it has a wheel instead of a bow, and it has a key box. It's a ridiculous instrument. But oh, bad note.
It sounds a little like a bagpipe.
It does. It's a string bagpipe.
Not quite as loud. And again, you can hear the full performance at the Lubec Memorial Library this August 23rd. And thank you for coming in. At 12 o'clock?
No, 4 o'clock.
At 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Don't mistake that.
Thank you.
Lubec is a small community. Its year-round population is under 1,400. But surprisingly, we've had continuous theatrical performances here since the 1970s, when the late Dorothy Blanche retired from her professional acting career in New York and began putting on her own plays every year. The Lubec Campobello Community Theater, an international community theater of which there are few and far between, was formed in 2004, and they continue to put on a variety of performances throughout the year, including the only regular children's theater in Washington County. Now, this month, they have a program in the middle of August, and with me to talk to you about that is Sarah Phillips Dalton and Susanna Gale, both doyens of the community theater. And which one of you would like to speak first?
Well, I guess I'll begin.
Oh,
Thank you for that stunning introduction, John. The check's in the mail. Yes, indeed, we are planning a series of evenings, August 16th, 17th and 18th, of theatre, a programme we are calling Comic Relief. And it's going to be a benefit for the Lubec Library, to which we owe a huge debt of gratitude for many reasons. And we will be presenting a series of 5 very short plays, little playlets, I guess you could call them. Do you want to say something about them?
Yes, the first one is one of the modern plays, Car Wash. And following that, we have a variety of things you might call skits, playlets, but mostly we're going for comic relief. Just a variety of fun, entertaining pieces to celebrate having theatre in Lubec and celebrating our Lubec Library, which is the center of our community.
And every December, the community theater puts on a show at the library of Christmas readings and carols, and so it seems right and fitting.
Payback.
Payback,
yes.
That's what it is. Now, the first play you've got, Car Wash, is going to be acted out in full, but the little vignettes you're doing, those are going to be dramatic readings.
Correct, which means...
Well, or undramatic readings in this case.
Costumed and scenaried, but they will be dramatic readings rather than actually performed plays. But that shouldn't interfere with their comedic effect particularly.
No, as long as...
It may even add to it, who knows?
You never know. You never know. Now, I know you had originally another play planned, so one of the reasons I think that it's convenient for some of these dramatic readings is that some of us old folks don't have time to memorize all the lines.
Well, we're all busy in the summer. We all work several jobs, which sort of seem to come to a head in the summer, so why we're doing this at this time of year, I'm not sure.
It's for comic relief.
It's for comic relief, of course. Yes, of course.
And everybody's going to be over the top, folks, so you better come. And once again, when are the dates for this?
August 16th, 17th and 18th at the Lubec School at 7 o'clock US time. $6 at the door. Children under 12, free.
And every dollar of it
will go to the library.
Will go to the library.
Every dollar, yes.
Okay.
Our expenses are minimal, and yes, we can afford to be generous at this point.
Okay. Well, thank you all.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
That's our program for this month. Thanks for watching, and we hope you can get out to enjoy as much as what's going on here as you can. We'll be back in September. Hope to see you all then.